This is my great-great-grandparents' gravestone right next to Charlie's parents over there to my right. Charles Henry Riebel, in German, Karl Heinrich Riebel, 1873 to 1936, and Minnie Lippert. Many again that know about Southside, you've heard of the name Lippert before. Yes, I will answer your question. We are related to the Lipperts, Lippert's Bar, and just the name Lippert in general. That is my great-great-grandmother's maiden name. So, she was born in 1874, but the stone says 1875. As a genealogist, you see this a lot. You kind of ignore it. You're like, whatever. Because what are you going to do? Take a hammer and chisel and ding, 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 ding? No, you're not going to do that. And she died in 1941 before Pearl Harbor. So she didn't see the beginning of World War II with the American involvement. The wind, ladies and gentlemen, is probably deafening my voice. So I'm going to try to project. I wish I had a microphone. But regardless. So Charlie and Minnie owned Riebel's, which was on the corner of 27th and Jane, aka Shipka's 1 nowadays, modern. So Charlie and his family were involved in the bar business because his grandfather Henry Christian started a confectionery store. And back in the 1800s, the candy stores or the confectionery stores could serve alcohol. They had bars. So that's how the Riebels and the Lipperts got involved in the bar business. Since they were Lutherans, mind you, they were Protestants, they still dabbled in alcohol, which many again who aren't Catholic know that alcohol in the Protestant religion is not thumbed up upon. You're not like, yeah, you know what I mean? So Lutherans, since they were a little flirty with the Catholics, they are very lenient and liberal with alcohol consumption and selling alcohol. So regardless, Charlie and his mother, Elizabeth, who's buried right there, they opened the bar Riebel's on the corner of South 27th and Jane, 1890s, early 1900s. And they owned, well, she owned the bar, he ran the bar, and so did she, Minnie. He was a Freemason, and she was part of the Order of the Eastern Star. It's related to the Freemasons. I'm not going to get in depth with it. I don't know. But, so, he ran the bar, behind the bar, and she cooked the food. Best turtle soup in the city of Pittsburgh. My grandfather Mooch told my dad back in the day, I never met Mooch, but he told my dad that Grandma Riebel's turtle soup was absolutely phenomenal. So let me give you a brief history after that. So, in 1916, Elizabeth dies. The licensing of the bar and the bar in general gets inherited by Charlie right here. Charlie inherits the bar. So Charlie runs the bar during World War I, the Roaring 20s. But during the 20s, though, what happens? Prohibition, Volstead Act. Great job, feds. And so they screw up Charlie's business, okay? Because alcohol is the cornerstone of a bar. So Charlie gets messed up a little bit. He's like, you know what, man, this sucks. Mind you, they were 100% German, so they were descendants of immigrants. So trying to succeed in a society that's ruled by Native Americans is pretty hard. So regardless, he was like, you know what, I ain't following the Volstead Act. I'm going to sell alcohol under the table illegally. So he does that from 1920 to 1933. Well, in 1924, 100 years ago, he gets pinched by the Volstead officers. Ooh. And they come to the bar in Southside. They raid the bar. They find liquor, bathtub gin, beer. They find all kinds of crap. They find all kinds of liquor. But the locals in Southside were absolutely freaking out. They were going nuts because they were like, yo, man. This is our booze. This is our neighborhood. We don't want you feds coming down here and raiding the place. So the Volstead officers were actually met with a mob of 300 to 400 people, the local neighborhood guys in Southside. And the local police and the Southside police had to maintain order, which I'll give you a little brief knowledge. Guess what? The Southside police officers were drinking too. So don't think that they were totally involved with the Volstead Act. They were pretty mad, regardless, because they were from Southside. Most of them were Irish Catholics. So what are you going to expect? So, regardless, Prohibition ends in 1933, thank God, during the Great Depression. Charlie and Minnie start selling alcohol not under the table, but over the counter again. Everything's all OG until Charlie gets diagnosed with cancer in 1936, and he dies. I think at 62 years old. Minnie then inherits the bar, but then she starts to go downhill. The daughters help out as much as they can. They aren't successful, so they sell the bar in the late 30s going into 1940, and basically they tried their best, but without Charlie, without the captain, it wasn't going to work out. The bar business, so they had to sell the bar. So that corner bar on 27th and Jane, which is now Chipka's One, that was their bar. It was called Riebel's, as you can see, Riebel. My family owned that bar, well, my family being them. They owned that bar from the 1890s to about the mid to late 1930s. So about 40-some years they owned that bar, and they ran it pretty good. But that's a little brief history about Charlie and Minnie Riebel in the south side of Pittsburgh. And I'm pretty glad to tell yins about them, because it's really, there's so many more stories I can tell yins, but there's a lot of time that you could waste listening to them, but I don't think yins want to do that. So I'm just going to give you the brief summary about them. So thank you for listening to this, and peace.